If you've ever struggled with deer munching through your plants, you know how frustrating it can be. One day your borders look full and vibrant, then overnight the blooms are gone. The good news is, not all plants are on a deer's menu. By choosing the right shrubs and perennials, you can design a garden that stays beautiful while staying off limits to hungry visitors. In this video, we'll look at 10 deer-resistant plants that bring structure, color, and long-lasting impact to your yard without becoming the next snack.
Let's start with a timeless evergreen that deer simply won't touch, boxwood. This classic shrub is treasured for its dense, glossy green foliage that holds its shape through every season. Its naturally compact form grows into neat mounds or hedges, making it the perfect way to frame pathways, borders, or foundations without fear of deer damage. Boxwood thrives in full sun to partial shade and tolerates a wide range of soils, as long as they drain well. Once established, it's hardy, drought-tolerant, and refreshingly low maintenance. And because deer tend to avoid its leathery leaves and strong aroma, you can trust it to hold its shape and greenery even in heavily browsed areas. Caring for boxwood is straightforward. Occasional trimming after the spring flush keeps it looking crisp, while a light feeding in early summer encourages lush growth. Unlike aggressive shrubs that take over, boxwood is non-invasive and stays exactly where you plant it, offering long-term beauty without spreading out of control. In the border, boxwood shines as the backbone of a deer-proof design. Use it for clean, formal hedges, as evergreen anchors in mixed beds, or as accent spheres tucked among flowering perennials. Wherever you plant it, boxwood delivers structure, dependability, and peace of mind, qualities every deer-prone garden needs. Next is a compact shrub that deer rarely bother with, Spirea gold mound. This cheerful shrub is loved for its vibrant golden yellow foliage that glows through the growing season. In summer, clusters of soft pink flowers cover the plant, creating a colorful contrast that brightens any border. While its appearance is soft and inviting, deer almost always ignore Spirea, making it a reliable choice where browsing is a concern. Spirea gold mound thrives in full sun and adapts to most soils, even poor or rocky ones. It grows quickly but stays compact, which makes it easy to tuck into small borders or along pathways without constant pruning. Because it's hardy and resilient, it delivers consistent color and bloom without demanding special care. Maintenance is minimal. An early spring trim refreshes the foliage, and a light pruning after flowering encourages dense growth and sometimes a second flush of blooms. Deer find its leaves and flowers unappealing, so you can count on it to stay looking fresh season after season. In the landscape, Spirea gold mound works beautifully as edging for borders, a splash of gold among darker shrubs, or as a low-maintenance filler that pulls a design together. With its color, toughness, and deer resistance, it's a shrub that earns its place in any garden. Another strong deer-proof choice is the native Arrowwood viburnum. This fast-growing shrub bursts with clusters of creamy white flowers in late spring, followed by glossy green leaves through summer. In fall, the foliage turns shades of red and purple, while its blue-black berries attract songbirds. Despite all that seasonal appeal, deer typically pass it by, preferring tastier plants elsewhere. Arrowwood viburnum thrives in full sun to partial shade and adapts well to a variety of soils, including clay. Its toughness and fast growth make it perfect for filling out borders or creating natural hedges. Once established, it requires little extra care to stay healthy and full. Caring for Arrowwood viburnum is simple. An occasional pruning helps shape it, but otherwise it holds its form nicely. Its native status also means it supports pollinators and wildlife without ever behaving invasively.
In a deer-prone garden, Arrowwood viburnum is a standout for its combination of resilience, wildlife value, and seasonal beauty. Whether planted as a hedge, grouped in a border, or used as a backdrop for perennials, it offers strength and color without the worry of browsing. For year-round color and a deer-proof guarantee, red twig dogwood Arctic Fire is hard to beat. In spring, it produces white flower clusters, followed by berries that birds adore. Through summer, its dense green foliage fills borders quickly, and when winter arrives, the bare red stems blaze against the snow, bringing bold structure when little else shines. And throughout all these seasons, deer tend to leave it completely untouched. This shrub thrives in full sun to partial shade and tolerates moist or even soggy soils, making it versatile for tricky spots. It grows fast, establishes quickly, and delivers four-season interest without fuss. Maintenance is light, prune out older stems every few years to keep the color vivid, and otherwise let it fill in naturally. Non-invasive and native to North America, it fits right into sustainable, wildlife-friendly plantings. In borders, red twig dogwood Arctic Fire is perfect as a seasonal highlight, especially when planted in groups, where its fiery stems can make a statement in winter. It's a shrub that ensures beauty all year long, with the bonus of being reliably deer-proof. At number 5 is a dramatic native shrub that deer won't bother with, Ninebark diabolo. This fast-growing shrub is prized for its deep burgundy foliage that holds color all season long. In spring to early summer, clusters of white to pinkish flowers stand out against the dark leaves, followed by seed pods for added texture. Come winter, the peeling bark adds a rustic element, ensuring year-round interest, all while staying untouched by browsing deer. Ninebark thrives in full sun to partial shade and isn't picky about soil, tolerating even poor or rocky ground. Once established, it's tough, drought-resistant, and requires very little maintenance. Its size and vigor make it an excellent choice for quickly filling out borders with bold structure. Care is simple. Prune older stems occasionally to refresh growth and highlight the exfoliating bark. It's highly resistant to pests and diseases, adding to its dependable nature. In the border, Ninebark diabolo works well as a dark backdrop for lighter-colored plants, as a focal point, or grouped together for a dramatic hedge. Deer avoidance, resilience, and year-round beauty make it a must-have in deer-prone landscapes. For fragrance and elegance that deer will steer clear of, Lavender hidcoat is unbeatable. This compact perennial forms neat mounds of silver-gray foliage topped with deep purple flower spikes through summer. Its strong scent not only delights people and pollinators, but also repels deer, who dislike its aromatic oils. Few plants combine practicality and beauty as seamlessly as lavender. Lavender hidcoat thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, performing best in hot, dry conditions where other plants may struggle. Once established, it's drought-tolerant and requires little more than occasional pruning to stay in shape. Maintenance is easy. Trim back lightly after flowering to encourage fresh blooms and prevent woody growth. It's free from serious pests and diseases, making it as reliable as it is attractive. In borders, lavender is perfect for edging pathways, filling sunny beds, or pairing with roses and catmint for a classic, fragrant combination. Its deer resistance makes it a cornerstone for gardens where browsing is an issue.
Another sun-loving perennial that deer avoid is Russian sage. This airy, fast-growing plant produces clouds of silvery foliage topped with long spikes of lavender blue flowers from midsummer to fall. Its aromatic leaves are unappealing to deer, yet irresistible to bees and butterflies, making it both deer-proof and pollinator-friendly. Russian sage thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, tolerating heat, drought, and poor conditions with ease. Once established, it forms graceful, shrubby clumps that fill out borders quickly, adding height and texture. Maintenance is minimal. Cut back the stems in late winter or early spring to encourage vigorous new growth. Beyond that, it's a carefree perennial that practically looks after itself. In the border, Russian sage shines as a soft, flowing backdrop, a middle layer filler, or mass planted for waves of color. Its combination of toughness, long bloom time, and deer resistance makes it a top choice for low-maintenance gardens. Next is a native perennial that deer rarely touch, coneflower magnus. This tough plant produces bold, daisy-like flowers with pink-purple petals surrounding spiky orange centers. Blooming from midsummer into fall, coneflowers add height, color, and pollinator activity to the border. While bees and butterflies flock to its nectar, deer tend to leave it alone thanks to its rough leaves and stiff flower stalks. Coneflowers thrive in full sun and well-drained soil, tolerating heat, drought, and even poor soils once established. They're low maintenance and reliable, returning year after year with bigger and better displays. Caring for them is simple. Deadhead spent blooms to encourage more flowers, or leave seed heads standing for winter interest and bird food. They're rarely troubled by pests or diseases, which adds to their appeal. In the border, coneflower magnus pairs beautifully with ornamental grasses, Russian sage, or black-eyed Susans. Its resilience, long bloom season, and deer resistance make it an essential perennial for any garden. For a fragrant, flowing perennial that deer steer clear of, Catmint Walker's Low is a standout. This variety forms soft mounds of gray-green foliage topped with clouds of lavender blue flowers that last from late spring through summer. Its aromatic leaves repel deer, yet attract bees, butterflies, and even neighborhood cats who love to lounge nearby. Catmint thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, tolerating heat, drought, and poor soils with ease. Once established, it's nearly carefree, making it one of the most rewarding perennials for busy gardeners. Care involves trimming lightly after the first big flush of blooms to encourage fresh growth and a second round of flowers. It's rarely affected by pests or diseases, and being sterile, this cultivar won't spread invasively. In borders, Catmint Walker's Low is perfect as an edging plant, spilling gracefully over paths or weaving between roses and other perennials. Its soft texture and deer-proof reliability make it a true garden workhorse. And finally, let's close the list with a bold bloomer that deer leave alone, Salvia caradonna. This upright perennial is known for its striking spikes of deep violet-purple flowers held on dark stems. Blooming from late spring into summer, it adds vertical drama and strong color to any border. Its aromatic foliage is highly unappealing to deer, keeping it safe even in heavily browsed areas. Salvia caradonna thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, and once established, it tolerates heat and drought with ease. It's a strong grower that fills out quickly, providing reliable color without fuss. Caring for Salvia is easy. Shear back the spent flower spikes to encourage new blooms and divide every few years to keep clumps vigorous. It's naturally resistant to pests and diseases, so it stays looking sharp with minimal input. In the border, Salvia caradonna works beautifully with coneflowers, ornamental grasses, or roses, creating eye-catching contrasts. Its deer resistance, long bloom time, and architectural form make it the perfect finishing touch for a deer-proof border. So there you have it, 10 shrubs and perennials that not only elevate your garden's beauty, but also stand strong against deer browsing. That's it for today's list. Which of these deer-proof plants would you love to try? Or is there another one you'd like me to feature next? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas for the next video.